Welcome, everyone. We're so pleased that you have joined us for Lurie Academy's graduation. Before we welcome our esteemed graduates, we're going to welcome Lurie faculty first. It's not good that I'm crying already. It is my greatest privilege and honor to present the Lurie Academy of Brooklyn class of 2025. Welcome to Lurie Academy's 8th grade graduation. I am Amanda Pogani, and it is my honor and privilege to be the head of school of this remarkable institution. Before we start, I want to take a moment to acknowledge and hold in our hearts and our minds our beloved family and friends in Israel who are struggling in this very difficult time. We're praying for their safety. In this week's Parshat Shlach, Moshe sends a group of scouts into Israel to survey the land. The group, led by Caleb, returns with a glowing report of a land flowing with milk and honey, and simultaneously, they also report some significant obstacles, like giants who inhabit the land among them. The immediate response of the people is panic. They wonder why God took them out of Egypt if they're going to die in their efforts to enter the land. They go so far as asking to return to the experience of slavery. God gets angry at them initially in his reaction, and also begins to wonder why he took them out of Egypt. But not Caleb. Caleb digs deep, even amidst the chaos and anxiety. He responds with confidence and with faith. He chooses to focus instead on the possibilities ahead of them. To our dear graduates, there is so much goodness and joy ahead of you on your journeys. And that doesn't mean that there won't be challenges and obstacles as well. When those challenges arise, your task is to remember who you are, where you came from, and who is standing beside you. We are your cheerleaders, your teammates, your teachers, and your friends. And we could not be more confident in the people that you have become. Take a moment and look around this room and remember the faces that are here. Go ahead, turn around. In the moments where you reach those obstacles and those challenges, I want you to remember the faces that you see around the room. And I want you to remember the pride that we have in you. But more than that, and what matters more, is the confidence and the pride that you have in yourselves. Remember that you are capable of great things. Remember to always look for the possibility, even in those challenging moments. And remember to always have faith in yourself and in God. Know that Luria will always be your home. Our pride for you is overflowing, and our love for you runs deep. Come visit us often. We'll miss you so. Thank you to the founders of Luria Academy for their vision of what was possible in education, and to our Board of Trustees for your tireless commitment to this institution. And thank you to my fellow parents of this beautiful group of children for your trust and your partnership over these last 9, 10, 11 years. Thank you to all of our incredible faculty, and especially to our middle school team for guiding our students on their journeys, helping them to become their best selves, and preparing them for what comes next. And thank you to our upper school director, Batsheva Miller, for taking time to see, hear, and understand each of our students. We are so blessed to have you on our team.
Good evening, students, faculty, parents, family, friends, board members, and of course, the graduating class of 2025. Let's talk about middle school. Middle school is fantastic, challenging, and confusing. An endless search for something we're not sure where it is, and a journey that cannot be undertaken alone. It is where we acquire some of life's most essential skills: how to bounce back from mistakes, manage pressure, and start the journey of becoming our true selves. As we look toward high school and beyond, uncertainty can loom large. The world presents us with complex decisions, genuine challenges, and numerous distractions. That's why Gloria has provided you with a simple framework. The 4 commitments, guiding principles that help us navigate life with dignity, courage, integrity, and humor. I'll be kind, I will be curious, I'll be strong, and I will contribute. You're now entering a new stage of your life, a time when you will have the opportunity to navigate the world more independently. This world can be confusing at times, often beautiful, occasionally messy, and always in need of humans with good hearts, strong minds, and the courage to live them. And how do we navigate through it? How do we make sound choices when faced with uncertainty or overwhelming situations? We hold these 4 commitments close and allow these principles to serve as a guide for the journey ahead. Class of 2025. Let us live curiously. Let us act kindly. Let us stand strong. And let us contribute something beautiful to this wild and wonderful world we live in. This evening, you will hear our students share their reflections on Gloria's 4 commitments as they make the transition from 4 commitments of an upper school student to the 4 commitments of a graduate. You will now hear from 4 students who will share their reflections on I will be kind.
I will be kind. This means I treat myself and others with grace and courtesy. I commit to respect, care, and equity in my words, actions, and relationships. I show up for my community with patience and generosity. Over my years at Luria, I've come to understand that kindness isn't always loud or dramatic. Often, it's the quiet, consistent actions that matter most. For the past 3 years, I've served on the student council, where I've had the privilege of advocating for my peers and supporting our school community. Through that role, my classmates came to see me as someone they could trust, someone who always responded with compassion and care. Kindness has shaped how I show up in everyday moments. On our flight back from Israel, I helped care for the children of 2 exhausted parents. During a community trip to Prospect Park, I gently supported my Shorashim buddy on the ice rink, encouraging her with patience as she found the courage to skate. And whenever a friend was struggling, I didn't hesitate to stop what I was doing and offer a listening ear, thoughtful advice, or simply a reassuring presence. These moments may seem small, but they've taught me something big. Kindness is a way of being. But it has shown me how powerful that can be and how to carry it with me always.
When I was younger, all I cared about was winning. Doing something poorly became a fear of mine. Over time, I learned that failure isn't something to be afraid of. It's actually what helps us grow. I remember earlier this year in math class, I was stuck on a problem about finding the zeros of a quadratic equation. I kept trying, getting it wrong, and feeling more and more frustrated. Finally, I asked my teacher for help. Instead of making me feel bad, they answered me with so much patience and kindness that stuck with me. And after that, I understood it, and I never got that problem wrong again. That experience showed me that failure and success aren't enemies, they work together. It also reminded me how powerful a little kindness can be. That's a lesson that I'll take with me from Luria for the rest of my life.
Grade, I didn't know anyone and I didn't know what to expect. That was until middle school went on a 3-day trip to Teva. Because it was an overnight trip, I was put in a cabin with my now good friends. At first, we didn't talk that much, but at night, while we were in our rooms, we got to know each other better, and I realized they were like-minded, cool people, and we became friends. After that, I got to know my entire class much better, and now we're here graduating. My takeaway from my time in Lurie Academy is to always be kind and accepting. Thank you, Lurie Academy, for teaching me this lesson that I will carry with me as I head to high school next year.
I've been going to Lurie my whole life, and I've learned everything about Judaism. Lurie taught me that Judaism is about more than going to school and celebrating holidays. It's not just a religion, it's a community. In Yom Ha'atzmaut, the Israel Day Parade, Lurie made me feel proud to be Jewish by giving us opportunities to connect with other Jewish communities in the area. One memory I took with me from our class trip to Israel gave me the same feeling of Jewish pride. It was Kabbalah Shabbat, and we were all praying at the Kotel. We saw all around us groups of friends praying with each other in circles, swaying and jumping and singing. We decided to join one of the groups, and they happily welcomed us into their circle. We prayed together all night. Looking back, I realized how special this moment was, and how we were automatically welcomed because we shared a culture of kindness, history, and tradition. The 8th grade class will now perform the song Uf Gozal by Commencement.
We will now hear reflections from our students who will share their reflections on I Will Be Strong.
I will be strong. This means I know who I am and what I am capable of. I understand when and how to lead and how and when to partner. I make meaning of my missteps, I reflect, I repair, and I start again. When I was younger at Lyria, I struggled with something that felt really big at the time, saying goodbye to my parents in the morning. In second grade, it would take me forever to walk into school because I was so afraid of being away from them. Luckily, I had amazing teachers who helped me through it. One of them was my math teacher. I would skip to Vila just to hang out with her and do math together, which honestly felt like a pretty good trade at the time. By fifth grade, I still had a hard time coming in, but I didn't have the same teacher anymore. Instead, I found a new solution. Every day, a teacher would walk me upstairs to class. They would talk to me, calm me down, and make the walk feel easier. Eventually, they encouraged me to try going by myself. I did. That small step taught me something huge. I don't need to let fear stop me. If I face challenges with a positive attitude, I can handle more than I think. That mindset has stayed with me ever since, and it's something I'll bring with me into high school. I hope my classmates do too, because even when things feel scary, we're stronger than we realize.
If you had asked me 4 years ago how strong class connection would be, I never would imagine just how powerful it would become. We built something real, something unshakable. I think back to Teva, all of us packed into a tent, laughing, talking, and truly bonding. In Israel, it was those late night hallway conversations and moments of honesty that brought us even closer. We showed up for each other, even when things felt uncertain. All of these memories remind me that strength doesn't always mean standing alone. It means leaning on your friends and letting them lean on you too. Our class is strong not because we're all the same, but because we've been through so much together and held up each other every step of the way. That's the kind of strength I'll keep with me as I move on to high school.
Perseverance is the first skill one must learn before beginning a new venture. When you know how to keep going and not give up, you can achieve anything. About a year ago, I woke up and I realized that I had toilet reading that day and I hadn't practiced. When I got to school, I grabbed a tikkun and set to work, practicing for a good hour. I practiced as hard as I could until it was time. I got up to the beamer, rolled out the scroll, and did an absolutely abysmal job. I didn't just make a few mistakes here or there. I missed the whole thing. The rabbis walked me through word by word. It was humiliating. Seeing me run from the room crying, one of my teachers came to me and told me that it wasn't the end of the world if I messed up, and I would do better next time. I took this advice to heart and practiced for hours until I had it perfect. So when it was time, I would do it perfectly. And I did. All of that practice and persistence paid off. From this moment, I learned the importance of persistence and strength. So when I go to high school and face a challenge, I will not give up.
I am not perfect and I never will. Growing up with a sister who has dyslexia meant that a lot of attention naturally went to her, from both my parents and my teachers. I got used to doing things on my own, which helped me become independent, but also made it hard to ask for help. I was afraid that speaking up would make me a burden, especially when I saw others around me being so much more. My mantra became, why should I ask for support when others clearly needed it more than I did? Then, in sixth grade, a teacher noticed I was having trouble focusing and gently pulled me out of class to work at her desk. She didn't wait for me to ask, she just showed up. Every so often, she'd check on me, quietly making it clear that she cared and that she wanted me to succeed. That experience helped me realize I didn't have to do everything alone. I learned that asking for help doesn't make me weak. It means I trust others to support me. From that point on, I became more comfortable working with my teachers and parents to grow into the best version of myself. Thank you, Lily Academy, for teaching me that I can always ask for help or support. And as my mom always told me, practice makes progress, not perfection. Thank you to our teachers for guiding us to this moment. To our Judaic studies teachers, who help us connect with our history, our people, and our values. You teach us that sacred texts do not only reside in books, they exist in conversations, questions, and our daily choices. To our math teachers, who help us think logically, navigate frustration, and discover beauty in patterns. You demonstrate that not all problems are easy. However, with effort and focus, we can find a way to overcome. To our humanities teachers, who help us understand people, both past and present. You demonstrate that empathy is a superpower, and that words, both ours and those of others, can transform our perspective on the world. To our Hebrew teachers, who provide us with tools to connect across cultures. You remind us that kindness begins with listening, and that learning another language opens the heart as much as it does the mind. To our special teachers, who instill in us the courage to take creative risks and provide a space to express what cannot always be articulated. You remind us of the importance of resilience, teamwork, care, and confidence. To our science teachers, who help us perceive the world as a realm of endless wonder and discovery. Al Yisrael ve'al Rabbanan, ve'al Talmidehon, ve'al kol Talmidei Talmidehon, ve'al kol man da'askim ba'oretza, di be'atra kadisha haden, ve'di be'chol atar ve'atar. Yehi lehon lechon, shlama rabba, china v'chista v'rachamim, v'chayin arichin, u'bzonei rebichei, u'forkana min kadam avuhon, di bishmaya, ve'ara ve'in ramin.
Amen.
Grant peace to our people, to our teachers and their students, and to all who engage in the study of Torah in this land and in all other lands. May they and we be blessed by our Creator in heaven with great peace, grace and kindness, compassion and love, and long life, abundance and deliverance. And we say Amen. Amen. We will now hear from 4 students who will share their reflections on I Will Be Curious.
I will be curious. This means I actively engage in the lifelong process of learning. I ask questions. I'm open to new ideas. I discern information and I reevaluate my perspective. I seek to understand than to be understood. It feels like just yesterday I was the newbie, nervously walking into my 3rd grade class. From that moment to now, I've grown, not just in height, but in character. Throughout the years, I've learned many lessons, one of which has stuck with me. This lesson took place in my 7th grade Gemara class. Luckily for me, my teacher was the type of teacher, like many others at Area, that doesn't give up on you no matter how disruptive or difficult it can be. During the lesson, we were learning about the rules that were made for Jews when they saw Amalek, the first nation to attack the Israelites when they left Egypt. My teacher asked us if we thought Amalek was still here with us at present time, hoping to foster an intellectual and engaging discussion. I was unable to control my impulses and felt strongly about the topic at hand. I became too loud, too confident, and did not allow my classmates to share their ideas. Let's just say it wasn't my best moment. I apologized to my teacher the next day, and she told me something I will never forget. Always take other people's ideas seriously, even if it goes against everything you're for. Always let them share their ideas. You listen, you hear them, you see their perspective. After that, I began changing my ways, and I quickly saw how it positively impacted my relationships with my teachers, peers, and others. Luria helped me grow from a disruptive, argumentative, and know-it-all kid to a strong, understanding, and promising young man with a bright future. Thank you to all my teachers for guiding me, pushing me, and never giving up on me.
I wasn't always connected to the Jewish community when I was younger at Luria, but over time, my curiosity about what it meant to be part of the community started to grow. I watched how my friends and teachers showed love and support for Israel and the Jewish people, and it made me wonder what I was missing. I remember the first time I went to the Israel Day Parade. I wasn't that excited, but when I got there, I saw something amazing. Jewish schools from all over proudly cheering, dancing, and showing their support. I started to ask myself, why does this matter so much to everyone? That question led me to explore and appreciate my identity more deeply. Seeing friends from other schools so full of energy and pride opened my eyes to the power of community. It made me want to learn more, get involved, and be part of something bigger. Now, as I graduate, I'm excited to keep that curiosity alive in high school. I'll have even more opportunities, even more chances to explore, ask questions, and show my support for Israel and the Jewish people. A few years ago, I used to hold back from asking questions. I worried that asking for help meant I wasn't smart enough, and I was bothering my teachers. In fifth grade, I realized I had forgotten how to do long division. I sat with my homework, confused and stuck, unsure what to do next. I didn't speak up, but thankfully, my math teacher noticed and invited a small group of us who were struggling to get extra help. That moment was important, not just because I finally understood long division again, but because I saw that asking questions was not a weakness, it was a way to learn. That experience opened a door for me. I started to feel more comfortable being curious, even when I didn't have the answers. Over time, I've learned that curiosity, wondering why, asking how, admitting when I don't know, is one of the most important parts of learning. As I leave worried, I'm proud that I've grown to someone who isn't afraid to ask questions. I know that wherever I go next, my curiosity will keep pushing me forward.
2 years ago, when my parents told me we were moving to New York for a year, I was not thrilled, to say the least. I didn't know what to expect, and I definitely wasn't excited to start over somewhere new. But curiosity kicked in. I started wondering what life at a new school would be like, what kind of people I'd meet, and how I'd fit in. And now, 2 years later, I wouldn't trade my experience at L'Oreal for anything. The 8th grade community welcomed me almost instantly, even though I was the new kid. I kept wondering what made this group so special, and over time, I found out. One of my favorite moments was our last night in Israel. We were supposed to take a calm walk on the beach, but of course, being us, we ended up in the water, splashing and tackling each other in full chaos. It's a memory that still makes me smile, and one of many joyful, unexpected moments that made me fall in love with this community. Thank you to my classmates for welcoming me so openly, and to my friends for always being there. I'm going to miss seeing you every day, and I'll carry my curiosity and love for this community with me wherever I go. The graduating class will now perform Home by Philip Phillips.
We get one more because I was.
Yeah.
We will now hear reflections from our students who will share on I will contribute.
I will contribute. This means I take pride in the community that raised me, and I live the values that my Judaism and my Luria Academy education instilled in me.
I take responsibility for improving, sustaining, and advocating for the communities of which I am part. I see the possibility for and I participate in the creation of a more just world. Luria is more than just a school to me, it's my family, and it's a place where I've been able to grow by giving.
Years old. Some of my classmates have been with me the entire time. We've understood this together. We all have different personalities and different ways of seeing the world. Some are quiet, some into sports, some into books. But some this year especially, our love for Israel and our willingness to be vulnerable brought us closer than ever. We became more than just classmates. We became our community. I'll miss Larry so much, but I'll miss growing up with this incredible group of people who can
Luria Pesachek was some of the most memorable and unforgettable experiences here, and many of them have helped expand my perspective. The trip also helped me learn that improving people's personal worlds, one at a time, is a small but important step forward in making the world a more just place. Our final message, but it touched my heart in a way no other experience was able to do. When we were in Israel, we visited kids staying at Save a Child's Heart, a truly incredible organization that brings children from across Africa life-saving heart surgeries that they can't get at home. We showed up in the backyard where they were playing, and even though some didn't speak English, that didn't stop us. We communicated with smiles, hand gestures, time can go, and how powerful it is to simply show up and connect. Even moving forward, and I
Good evening. I'm Lonnie Firestone, proud mom to Isaac, a graduate this evening. It's an honor to give the parents' blessing to this year's graduates. I'll begin with a mention of a transformative program that the 8th graders experienced this year, and I think you've already heard a little bit about this evening. Nearly every Wednesday over the past school year, the 8th grade students visited an adorable group of children, colloquially known as their Shorashim buddies. These were students ages 3 to 4 in Loria's primary school, who welcomed the big 8th graders into their classroom for learning activities and inter-age friendships. The Shorashim class benefited immeasurably from learning with older students. But just as significantly, and perhaps more sustainingly, the 8th graders developed a sense of themselves as they became mentors, role models, and caregivers. The program was, in my view, the most Luria-esque idea ever. In working with a group called Shorashim, meaning roots, the 8th graders solidified their own. By seeing the world through the eyes of primary age children, they realized that the point of education is to find excitement in discovery. By encouraging primary students to show kindness toward one another, they realized that the point of their time at Luria has been to grow ethically. Becoming an avid learner and a kind-hearted person is core to the profile of a Luria graduate. That combination can take many forms. A critical thinker who brings others into a conversation, a curious reader of her favorite books with others. Community of learners is visible in every age group. Students who begin in the primary school have had these values in mind for quite some time. Students who joined in elementary and middle school acclimated to this child-centered learning environment where children are encouraged to grow and flourish in their own ways. Many schools talk about growth and flourishing, and to exemplify it, call their youngest learners names associated with nature. Luria does so with their primary classes, Garinim, Shorashim, Alim, and Nitzanim. Needs allow each to thrive. Your roots are strong. Thanks to your own hard work. I look at this class of graduates and I see 16 wondrous varieties. An apple tree, a maple, an evergreen, an oak, an elm tree, a willow, magnolia, a sequoia, a palm tree, a redwood, a cypress, a baobab, an aspen, and an olive tree. Now you get to figure out. What should you do now that you're ready to look back on what you completed as it is to look forward? What is and to a phase of your life? In Masachet Brachot, the first tractate of the Mishnah, there's a passage that describes the way that rabbis hurt one another after an extended period of life. As they said goodbye, each would say, "May your heart be guided with insight. May your mouth speak words of wisdom. May your tongue be filled with praises. May your vision be straight and clear before you." The way you leave a place of learning will affect the way you embark on the next. So take a moment to be grateful. Think about the skills that were once so hard and now seem easy. Delight in your abilities. Appreciate your classmates. Tell a teacher you'll always remember that lesson they taught you. Tell your Shorashim buddy you'll see them again. Acknowledge the way in which you now know yourself, your inherent worthiness, and your immense potential. Then look up and keep growing. Graduates, please rise so that your parents can share the Shehachiyanu bracha with you. Parents,
And with the gift. The gift is a procedure that includes the Shalosh Re'ah, the three holidays, so that they can always access the prayers that they spend time learning here. We'll call them one by one. These are mine. Busy business. Oops. Sorry, babe. Ella Clark West. Eli Cohen. Isaac Fire. Micah Isaac. That has gone. Jacob Madden. Rhonda Salam. Maria Stewart. And Siva.
What is it, bro? Yeah.
Sarah Foster. If you don't take a photo, it didn't happen.
Yeah, dude.
Aviv Weinberg.
Oh, yeah, Bola.
Boaz Weinberg. In a moment, I will present the graduating class. They will exit the room, and then you are all welcome to join us in the courtyard for a reception. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute privilege to present the Learning Academy graduating class of 2025.